Hello and welcome back to UHD Library's Chemistry 2101 Lab Help video series. As discussed in the introduction video, there are two tasks for the compound, Item A and Item D. In this video, we'll walk you through Item A. There are 10 properties your professor wants you to find about your assigned compound: boiling point, melting point, density, molecular weight, CAS Registry Number, structure, possible hazards, price per quantity, a copy of the IRSpectrum, and a copy of the NMRSpectrum. Each property needs at least one reference, the source where you found the information. We'll find these 10 properties for the chemical compound formaldehyde. We've listed the best resources to find information you need in the assignment guide. If you can't find the information in one resource, try another. The best place to start is SciFinder. SciFinder is an excellent database to use to find most of the properties you need for your lab assignment. To use SciFinder, you need to create an account with your Gator email so the database can recognize that you are a UHD student. To learn how to create an account, click on this video to learn about the account creation process. Once you've registered, sign into the homepage. Let's get started by finding the boiling point. We need to find the boiling point in 2 resources. We've suggested 4 resources to pick from. If you can't find the information you need in SciFinder, try another. We'll search for formaldehyde in SciFinder and click on the result for the compound. You can see the compounds page has some of the other properties we'll need, but we will come back to this page as we work on the lab. Remember, we need to find the boiling point in 2 resources. We will go back to the assignment guide and pick from one of the other 3 listed. We'll go down the list and select the CRC Handbook of Chemistry and Physics, which will open in a new tab. Since we are looking for information on a chemical compound, click on the flask. We can search by a few means, but we'll stick with the chemical name. And there we have the boiling point in a second resource. Now let's find the melting point. We need to find the melting point in 2 sources. Since we are still in the CRC Handbook, we'll look at the list. And there is the melting point. Let's hop back to the SciFinders page and see if the melting point is listed. Sure enough, there it is. Remember, we suggested 4 resources to search from. Can't find the information in one source, try another. Next, we'll look for density. We only need to find the density in one resource, so we can check either SciFinder or the CRC Handbook. You can even browse through the other 2 resources for the density of your assigned compound. We'll stick with SciFinder since we're here. On to the molecular weight. We only need to use one resource. Let's check SciFinder. They have the weight listed, but not the unit of measurement. Check with your professor if they want the unit. If you need to find a resource that lists the unit, try a different resource. Let's try searching in PubChem and pull up the compounds page. There it is. So we can list 30.026 grams per mole for our lab report if the professor needs the unit of measurement. We are at the halfway mark. Let's check out SciFinder, and its CAS registry number is right at the top of the page. Then we'll look for the structure of the chemical compound. We need to look out for images, which might not be clearly labeled. Luckily, all 4 resources have the structure of formaldehyde somewhere on the compounds page. Now let's look for any possible hazards. It's hard to tell where the hazards are. Hit Ctrl and F, or Command and F for Mac users, on the keyboard to pull up the search page function on the browser and type in hazards. Sure enough, it highlighted where the term hazards appears on the page, and we can use that to find the section on hazards. Next, we'll look for the price per quantity. Fair warning, math and conversions might be involved. This answer isn't in one of the resources we've been using, so let's look at another resource in the assignment guide. There are 2 resources that could have the price per quantity. Let's try millipore sigma. Once we found the compound and clicked on it, we'll look at the list of the product numbers for formaldehyde. Each product is slightly different for different uses of the compound. When we click on one of the products, it will take us to the items page with more specific purchasing information, including the cost for how much of the product. Now we'll find a copy of the IRSpectrum. We'll switch back to SciFinder. It's not with the rest of the properties. We can look at the list of other aspects of the compound to see if we can find a graph. Let's check the experimental spectra drop-down box. That brings up a whole table of different spectra. One tab is titled IR. That tab brings up several different spectrum to view. Clicking on one will take us to a new page with a graph. Just what we needed. And last but not least, we'll find a copy of the NMRSpectrum. In the same table as the IRSpectrum graphs, there are two tabs, HNMR and CNMR. Check with your professor if they want a specific spectrum. Both tabs are like the IRSpectrum's tab we just covered, so we click on one of the spectrums listed. Don't worry if the result you select brings you to a page without a graph. Simply go back and try a different result. We've covered a lot of information and went through several resources. If you're having trouble, please contact UHD Library through the Ask a Librarian link. If you have a question about your lab report, please contact your professor. This concludes Item A of the Chemistry 2101 lab in our video series. Up next is a video walking you through Item B.